So now we've got Adam and Eve. They're just chilling in the garden doing their thing. They don't have to go to work, so they're sleeping in. They probably spend most of their time bumping pretties. That's like bumping uglies for you and me, but they're perfect, right? So there aren't anything that you could even call ugly. So they're doing their little thing. Adam decides, I'm getting sick of just calling you, hey you. So he starts naming these animals. Figures that, it makes it a little bit easier so he can at least talk to the animals. They're not talking to him, but maybe he'll talk to them. So he starts looking at all these animals and giving them names. Now, he decides to mix it up, keep everybody guessing. So instead of calling the tall animal tall, he calls it giraffe. And instead of calling the fast animal fast, he calls it a cheetah. And instead of calling the fat animal Rosie O'Donnell, he calls it a hippopotamus. Well, Eve, she's just laying around. She's working on her tin, doing her thing, reading seedy romance novels. Well, she decides that she's getting bored. She gets up, she's wandering around the garden, and the problem with living in a small town is that there are so few restaurants to choose from. You burn out just so quick. Well, they don't have any restaurants. And they also don't have stoves to cook anything. They haven't gotten around to cooking up steaks yet. They don't know how to do any of that. France hasn't been invented, so they haven't even invented French fries yet. So there's really not all that many options. She's getting a little hungry. Well, she comes across this tree, and it's the most beautiful tree she has ever seen. It's set up a perfect little display like you'd see at a fancy boutique, and she's like, ooh, I need some of that. So she goes and she grabs what comes to find out is an apple, and she eats it. She's like, damn, that's delicious. And she goes over to Adam. She says, Adam, eat this. And he says, now, you can't read, Eve, I understand that, but I can. And if you looked at that tree, there are two signs that you missed. One says, you break it, you buy it, and you just broke it. Two, it says, please ask an associate for assistance. She's like, eat the fruit. And he says, no, I might lose my deposit if I eat the fruit. She says, if you don't eat this fruit, because now she's getting a little nervous, if you don't eat this fruit, you're never going to get to play with these again. He says, ooh, I like playing with those. Give me one. He goes, no, give me two, just to make sure. So now he's munching on the apple and he's getting a little nervous. Well, about that time, Adam comes around. God comes around, excuse me. God comes around, he's like, I'm pretty sure I told you not to eat from the display. They're like, our bad, we got confused. No, it's not your bad you got confused. You knew what you were doing, and now you're going to be penalized. Damn it. Now we're in trouble. It's her fault. No, he told me to go get him something to eat. Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with you guys. I got to punish you. So God goes to creating punishments. What does he do? He destroys peace, harmony, tranquility. He does the most vicious and cruel thing that he could possibly think of. And he invents children. So children, the moral of this story, you are all that is wrong. Hey, first of all, you have no business watching these videos, you little fucks. But you have no business. You ruined everything. Bad children. Well, Adam realizes, he's not the one having children. So he says, you know what, Eve, this has been fun, but I'm too young to be a dad. I still got my seeds to sow. I'm out of here. And God says, whoa. I invented something else. It's called child support. You will stick around and deal with these children, or I will get a deadbeat dad warrant on your ass and throw you in jail. Is that all, God? No, that's not all. I'm quite upset with you. So, in fact, that Adam, here's what I'm going to do. Because I'm really mad at you. You should have known better. You should have told Eve about all this. Every, 4 or 5 weeks, Eve is going to become a bitch. So I hope that works out for y'all. Y'all take it easy. So now Adam and Eve are upset. What's the first thing they do? They decide to invent something. Yeah, that's how they respond to getting their asses chewed by God. They invent something. What do they invent? My least favorite invention of all time. Clothing. So now we have kids and we have pants. Thank you, Adam and Eve.